10, how good are you? On the scale of 1 to 10, how good are you? On the lower end of the scale, the lower half, lower numbers, that's like axe murderers, people who don't wash their hands after going to the bathroom, people who own 5 or more cats, cowboy fans, it just kind of gets you thinking. Trying to offend as many of you as possible just to get things started. Up here on the upper scale of things, you're kind of thinking maybe like Mother Teresa, Billy Graham, people named Mike. Jesus is like 100, okay? So think of a number in your head, and what I want you to do is turn to the person next to you and just take a few moments and tell them your number. And you're in church, so no lying, okay? Tell the person next to you, just say, here's my number. Some of you are trying to justify your answer on how good you are. Some of you are leaving your neighbor out. You're just like not even giving them a cold shoulder. But we try to be welcoming here. But we're in church. We can be honest. So let's just go ahead. How many of you, show of hands, were in the on the lower end, like 0 to 30 and below? How many? Raise your hand. Keep them up high. Keep them up high, high, high. Okay, ushers. You see the people who have the 30 and below, let's escort these people, these bad people. Get them out of the room right now. How many of you were 30 to 50? 30 to 50. All right? Did I say 1 to 10? Oh my goodness. Well, I meant to say 30 and below. I said 1 to 10. I'm a little bit nervous today. Can't you tell? How many of you, I'm sorry for the 10 to 30 crowd? 10 to 30 crowd? 10 to 30? Okay, everyone's kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to raise my hand or not. What I'm going to do. 30 to 50. 30 to 50. We'll go back to you guys. Raise your hand if you're 30 to 50. Okay, here's the good thing for you guys. I know you're on the lower half. You're kind of like, You are what makes the top half possible. So thank you. Thank you for being that. All right, 50 to 80. 50 to 80. You're kind of in that upper half. A lot of. Okay, leave your hands up, hands up, hands up. If you're next to someone who's got their hands up, 50, 80, just lean over next to that person and say, you're a good person. You're a good person. Okay? All right? 80 to 100. 80 to 100. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. You are so full of yourself. And there's no reason to be, we got to hear about it all the time. So, good people, bad people, we tend to, in a sense, kind of compare against ourselves. Sometimes if we compare to people who, in a sense, we think we're on the lower end, and we tend to feel good about ourselves. If we compare ourselves to people who are on the higher end, we tend to maybe feel negative. I want to talk today about a scene on the cross where Jesus is hanging on the cross, and he's between two really bad guys. It says he's on the cross, and on his right and on his left are two criminals on a cross. And he has a conversation with these guys today. If you have your Bible, we're going to be in Luke chapter 23 today. And you can read about Jesus' death and resurrection in Luke. You can also read it in Matthew and in Mark, John. But we're going to be camping out in Luke 23 today. And it says that one of the criminals hanging beside him scoffed. If you're the Messiah, so you're the Messiah, are you? Prove it by saving yourself and us too while you're at it. Take us off of here too. But the other criminal protests and he says, don't you fear God? And even when you have been sentenced to die, he said, we deserve to die for our crimes. You're a bad guy. Crucifixion was reserved for the worst of the worst, to make an example of those so others would follow in their footsteps. He says, we deserve to die. We're the bad guys. But this man hasn't done anything wrong. And then he said, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And Jesus, as he's taking his final few breaths, is one of the most hope-filled phrases I think we'll ever hear Jesus say. He says, I assure you today, you will be with me in paradise. What an amazing scene. As we've been going over the past few weeks, Jesus' final word on the cross. This was not your Sunday school crucifixion. There was blood here. There was gore here. If you were there would have been a stench there. You would have been horrified at what you saw. You would have looked away. You would not have wanted to look. And yet, for Christians, as we look at this moment, the moment that seems to be the most horrific is the one where God says, this is the most glorifying moment in human history that is taking place on this hill in Jerusalem. And it's pretty stinking amazing what's happening in this moment as Jesus says these things. And here he speaks to two criminals and to one who saw Jesus for who he was. He says, today you will be with me in paradise. Have you ever wondered why God would want to have anything to do with us? Have you ever wondered why God would want anything to do with humanity? Did you see what happened a couple weeks ago with what NASA did? They took a photo and they had this, this is the first ever photograph of a black hole. Like this, I don't know how all the technology and the algorithms in which they did to capture such a magnificent thing. This is a picture of the black hole. It's in a galaxy, the M87 galaxy, which is 55 million light years away. Like this is beyond our comprehension on how far this thing away is from Earth. I mean, if you think about light travels at roughly 186,000 miles per second. And 1 light year, how far light would travel in 1 year, is 5.88 trillion miles in 1 year. And this thing is 55 million light years away. Like beyond fathomable how they do this. I have no clue. Some of you guys are brainiacs and maybe you do. You can be like, well, I'll tell you. I don't want to know. Okay? Back in 1977, we launched the Voyager 1. And the Voyager 1 was sent out into space at a speed of about 40,000 miles per hour. Pretty fast. Yet, 13 years later, 1990, it had traveled 3.7 billion miles away. I'll remind you, 1 light year is 5.88 trillion miles. After 13 years of traveling, it's 3.7 billion miles away. But it took a photo. We told it, hey, turn around and take a photo of Earth. And this is the photo that it took. It's called, this photograph is famous. It's called the pale blue dot. And it took months to get this picture together because it would transmit 1 pixel at a time. And this is Earth. The pale blue dot, it's less than a pixel on the screen here, is what you see on Earth. It's a speck in the universe, barely even a speck on the universe. Have you ever wondered, why would God want anything to do with this pale blue dot? To deal with a speck within this speck on a universe. If you've asked this question, I want you to know at Freedom Church, it's okay to ask big questions. It is okay to even doubt. You might have grown up in the church where you're like, you can't ask these questions. Like, you're the pastor, and it's almost like it's Easter Sunday, and you're almost like trying to force people to ask questions without doubt. I think it's into it. I think it's okay to ask big questions. If God's a loving God, then why would he send someone to hell? If God is good, then why do bad things happen to good people? I want to lean into these questions. God's big enough to handle them. I may not be able to answer, but here we want to take on those questions. And just so you know, like in next week, this is why I think this is important to lean into these questions. We're going to talk about it. Because we're going to do a series called Mind Games. We're going to talk about winning the in loneliness. If you're new to Christianity, or maybe you're just checking this thing out, I'm glad you're here. Here's a dirty little secret of Christianity about all Christians. Don't tell anybody. We have doubts. We have questions, and we want the truth. But I also know our atheist friends have doubts. Our agnostic friends have doubts. Our Muslim friends have doubts. What does God want to do with us on this planet? I think we need to do these questions. For a lot of us, we have these doubts and we would walk away. And for some of you, you grew up and you walked away from faith because you had some questions and your faith wasn't answering those questions. You maybe weren't allowed to ask those questions. And you walked away, and you might have walked away for good reason. Because some of you grew up with a God that does not exist. What? Some of you might have grew up with, I put the names just to help us remember, boyfriend God. Boyfriend God is the God that you feel all the time. Like maybe at one point in your faith journey, you're like, man, I really felt God. I really felt the presence of God. But then you went through some stuff, or you went through some, took a few days, and all of a sudden you're like, I don't feel God anymore. Because someone told you, or you thought you were going to feel God all the time, and then you didn't feel Him. Like, well, then God must not be there. He must not be real. And we took a step away from faith. Some of you grew up with on-demand God. An on-demand God is the God that responds to fair and selfless requests as we would. Like, God, just get them a job. Like, why wouldn't you get that person a job? It seems reasonable. Like, all I'm asking, I just want to get married. Like, is that too big of a thing to ask? Like, everybody else will get married. Like, God, I would do that for them, and you're God, so why not? And so, when on-demand God didn't answer our stuff on time or the way we wanted, we took a step away from that. Some of us believe in bodyguard God. Bodyguard God. Bodyguard God is the God that wouldn't allow bad things to happen to good people. And we saw some pretty horrific stuff. Or we experienced some pretty horrific stuff. And when bodyguard God did not step up to the plate, we walked. How could a good God allow these things to happen? Some of us, we grew up with guilt God. Guilt God, the answer is no. If it's fun, no. It's full of room. If it's sexually related, no. Triple no. Don't have anything to do with it. And closely behind guilt God was bad cop God. Because bad cop God was there to punish you as soon as you screwed up. You break a rule, I'm coming to lay the hand down on you. And you ran far away from guilt God. You took steps away from faith. And some of you grew up with anti-science God. Like, you learn these things about God, and then all of a sudden you grew up and you learned some facts about science, and you see some things that are going on, and all of a sudden you're like, I don't know, the facts, these things seem to line up, and then I see some things here, I don't know if they line up, and you were told, just have faith. Like, ignore science. And if you took a step away from faith, and you walked away from those gods, let me tell you, good. They do not exist. That is not the God of Christianity. And I don't know where I'll take some responsibility. As a pastor, like the church, we have not done a good job of describing who God is and living it out. Yet at the same time, I'm here to tell you today that's not who God is. Alright? God created. He is very much, I would say, in line with science. Modern science was birthed out of Christianity. It was people who were saying, hey, there's a God who created this thing. There's an order here. Maybe we can kind of figure out how He did it. Bodyguard God. He doesn't exist. Perfect example, Jesus. He's having horrific things happening to Him on the cross. And we are not all, God is always going to be with you, but you will not always necessarily feel God with you. And so if we took a step away from faith because of these good. But some of us, in taking a step away, here's what you need to know. When you take a step away from something, at the same time you step away from something, you are stepping towards something else. And unknowingly, when we took a step away from faith and we stepped away from God, rather than leaning into it, saying, I don't know how that works, I'm going to lean in and figure out who this God is, we took a step away towards a godless universe. Because either God exists or he does not. And when you step towards the godless universe, you step towards some theology that you have to embrace in a godless world. As an atheist, if you're going to go that route in the godless world, you have to embrace that there's no you. Like, in a godless universe, you do not exist. All you are is a clump of cells that get activated for a while, and then after 70, 80 years, they just stop. And that's it. Now, I'll never forget, I had a teenager one time say, well, then I must be one sexy clump of cells. But in reality, in a godless universe, that's all we are. We're just biology. Also, you have to embrace that there's no such thing as value in a godless universe. It is just completely arbitrary. What if everything is just matter? Then that's it. There is no such thing as value. And in a godless universe, you have to embrace that there is no such thing as justice. Like, there's no standard for injustice. And we would see it and say, that's wrong, that's not good, I don't like that, we have that, but what's the standard when all we are is just matter and cells that get activated and then we cease to exist in a godless universe? You end up with, I have my justice, you have your justice, the majority rules have their justice, the Republicans have their justice, the Democrats have their justice, KKK has their justice, Nazis have their justice, ISIS has their. It's everybody for themselves on what is just. And now all of a sudden, some of you kind of looking at me like, I don't know that I can embrace that. I don't think I can check that box. I have doubts about that. Here's what I know. Nobody lives like that. Nobody lives as if there is no you. Try to live like that for a week. You can't. Nobody lives as if you do not have value or your kids aren't valuable. Nobody lives as if there is no justice. All of these things, Christians would say that longing should not be ignored. That longing for more, that longing for something eternal and bigger should not be ignored. Lean into it. We would say that's the thumbprint of God's life. That's God's name. There is something more. There is something bigger. Keep pursuing. There is purpose. You do have value today. What would God want to do with us on this pale blue dot? What does this God even look like? If there is this God, what does he even look like? Christians would say he looks a lot like Jesus, hanging on a cross, but he between two criminals. This God, when they came to the place called the skull, they nailed him on a cross, and the criminals were also crucified, one on his right and one on his left. Two criminals, bad dudes, and one of them scoffed, the other one said, remember me when you enter into your kingdom. Jesus told him, today you will be with me in paradise. John 1 tells us that Jesus came full of truth and grace. Full of truth and grace. The truth part is that these were bad dudes. So do you and I. We're the two thieves on the cross. Scripture says it like this: for everyone has sinned, and we all fall short of God's glorious standard. Did a little research on that Greek word, everyone, and all. Everyone in the Greek means everyone. All in the Greek means all. We have imperfections. I was reminded of my imperfections this past week. you have no hair back there? I'm like, what? Well, and then, I don't think this has happened. I don't think any other human has done this. I don't know if I have done this. He goes, no, you can touch the skin on there. I said, somebody's about to die, and there will not be a resurrection on Sunday. Some imperfections, and we don't like to admit these things. It's humbling to admit these things. Spiritually speaking, we have imperfections, and I don't care what number you place on yourself today. When you compare yourself to a holy God who's perfect in every way, and then you have us, I don't care if you were 99.99999999999, you're not. You're still a blemish. And Scripture says spiritually, one speck of a blemish in your life creates an eternal separation from God. He can't have anything to do with it. Now, this is the truth part, okay? Some of you grew up with this God, guilt God, and all you got was truth. You're going to hell. You sinner. And you got all of this stuff, and you're like, I don't want anything to do with that. You just got truth. Let me tell you, this is the worst part of the message today. Because the criminal on the cross had no chance of getting it right. And this wasn't about, as Rita said earlier, making bad people good. Jesus came to make dead people who have no shot at a relationship with the eternal God. Jesus came to set us straight with God, set us right with God, so anybody could have a relationship with Him. To make dead people spiritually have the ability to come alive spiritually and have a relationship with God. And anybody who wants to get excited about that, you can cheer, because that's why we have hope today. Listen, Jesus didn't come so that bad people could go to heaven. He didn't come so that good people could go to heaven. The question I asked you earlier actually has no relevance on the conversation of Easter morning whatsoever. Jesus came so that forgiven people could go to heaven and have a relationship with Him. It is not about how good you are or how bad you are. It is about forgiveness. And that's what the cross means for us. Now you say, okay, all right, I get that. I have some blemishes, I have some imperfections, and I want this forgiveness. How do I get it? And I know here a lot of us are kind of math people. We want some equations, so here's your equation. Jesus plus what gets me salvation? Jesus plus what gives me salvation? What do I fill in the blank here? Some of us, we try to work it. We say, earn it. Like, okay, if I follow this Jesus thing, then aren't there all these rules? Like, you got to give, you got to go to church, I got to read my Bible, I got to pray, I got to do all these things, right? Or maybe some of you are like, well, maybe I just got to be not so bad. Like, I just do my best. I just do my best and try to not be as bad as other people. Like, I'll put that in there. Or some of us, maybe we're here today and say, you know what, I like this Jesus guy, but there's a lot of other religions out there. And they all, they have some good things and some bad things. I don't know, maybe it's just be sincere in pursuing this God thing. That would be awesome. I would tell you to go do that. Except Jesus said this. He said, totally had a brain fart. What's that? Yes. God saves you by His grace when you believe. And you can't take credit for it. It is a gift from God. He said, nobody comes to the Father except through me. Nobody comes to the Father except through me. He says, I'm the avenue. I'm it. Everybody's offered forgiveness. Everyone's offered grace, but I'm the avenue to get there. So what do you put in the blank? How do you fill in the blank? That is the equation. You didn't know it. You put nothing there. Anybody who tries to tell you anything else and put it in there, that is a false God. That is a false religion. You cannot earn it. It is by grace you have been saved. He was on the cross. Whatever it was for you, He put a cross over it. So this is the beauty. When Jesus died on the cross, this is the beauty of it. Whatever shame you have, you bring it to the cross. Because that's where your shame in your life meets His grace. Whatever failures you have in life, you bring it to the cross because that's where your failures meet His forgiveness. Whatever pain you have experienced in your life, you bring it to the cross. And that's where you will find purpose. This thief on the cross had no shot at making it right. He had no shot of earning it and making it better. Well, I will help people. He was in his final moments. He was in his final breath. And in that moment, Jesus said, "You're in. I love you. For this very moment, for this very purpose, people for eternity will know about you and my love for you and my love for this planet." That's why He came. It's grace and grace alone. And when Jesus said, "It is finished" on the cross, and He breathed His final breath, and He died, He put a cross over it. It is finished. And now for us, it's going to sound a little bit contradictory to what I've been saying. You have some unfinished business. You have some unfinished business. You're like, what do I got to do? You receive it. You receive His grace in the gift of salvation. Look at this. It says, God saves you by His grace when you believe. You can't take credit for this. It is a gift from God. Salvation is not a reward for the good things we've done, so no one can boast. For you, what's your name there? For Mike is God's masterpiece. He's created us anew in Christ Jesus, so Mike can do good things He planned for Mike to do long ago. Two thieves on a cross. What are the two thieves? We know the story. We saw the same. They saw the same thing. They heard the same thing. We know the story. Two different responses. How do I receive this gift? It's like at Christmas or your birthday, you get a gift. You got to open it. You don't got to work for it. You just open it. How do I receive it? One is faith. Faith that Jesus is God. Not little g God, big G God. That He died on the cross, and that was payment for your sin and mine. You don't have to keep, there's no more sacrifices that ever have to be done. That He didn't stay dead, that He rose from the grave. That's why we celebrate today. Your faith and trust in Jesus and Jesus alone. Jesus plus nothing. That's it. And then you live like He died. Live like He died. Like, I got to die on the cross. When He rose from the grave, it brought meaning to everything He ever said and He ever did. That's why we study what He said. One of the things He said, if you want to be my follower, you want to be a Christian, you want to get to salvation, He says, take up your cross and follow me. You died to yourself. When they were up there taunting Him, saying, hey, you want this? Hey, if you're really the Messiah, take yourself down. That's the same for us saying, hey, don't pursue temporary pleasure. Like, just go after whatever you want, whatever feels good, just grab it, take it, or whatever. And Jesus says, no. I will not pursue temporary pleasure. I came here, I now have purpose, an eternal purpose. And He stayed on that cross for you and I. We live like He died. We don't live for ourselves anymore. We live for Him and we live for others. Take up your cross and follow me. That is open to everybody today. Some of you, you got the wildflower seeds in here today. These seeds, if you take them and you actually plant them, I'm a terrible gardener, so these are going to die in 2 days. They're not going to come back to life. But you bury them. You take them and you bury them. And we know the science behind it. Give it some support, give it some water, give it some sun. Guess what? Whatever died to breathe this, a flower or a fruit or whatever it was, bury it for a couple days, and you're going to see some life. You're going to see some growth. And Jesus, He didn't just die for you on your sins so you could just go to heaven. No, He says, you are my masterpiece. I've created you to do good. He's got a purpose and a plan for you. That's why we want you to come back next week so we can help you discover what is your plan. Why would God want anything to do with you you and I on this day? The answer was everything. He gave it all for you today. Some of you, this is your moment to acknowledge that and receive that. Father, in this moment of decision, in this moment of hearing who you are and just how much you love us, how big you are, but yet how incredibly personal you are at the same time. I can't even fathom it yet. I know it's true for myself and so many others. I pray in this moment for the person who's never given their life to you, maybe today. They see it's not about what they do. It's about a relationship with you. That's why we came. You love us. You want a relationship with us today. Today we want to nail that down on the cross for some of us today. Scripture says if you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Right now in the depths of our soul, we hear you calling our name, offering forgiveness willingly, saying, I want a relationship with you. Did God ever love you? Did God ever forgive you? Yes. I want to give you an opportunity to respond. God speaking to you today. You've never given your life to Jesus Christ. Not full, like you know about him, but no, you've never put your faith and trust in him. You look at the fruit of your life, like honestly, it's always been about. Today, I want to give it to God. I want to give my life to God. I just want to take that first step. That's how God works. He doesn't show you the whole path. You're like, well, what is all this going to mean for my life? He just shows you the next step. We want to help you take that next step, and we'll worry about tomorrow's step tomorrow. But if that's you today, you know he's speaking to you today, calling your name, saying, I want a relationship with you. Would you please just raise your hand and raise it high so I can see God's calling you today to say, yes, I want a relationship with Jesus Christ for the very first time. Would you please just raise your hand and raise it high? I don't want to call you out. I just want to pray with you, pray for you. Saying, yes, I want a relationship. That's you today. Please raise it high. For some of you in this room today, maybe you've already given your life to Jesus. You're like, yes, I've already nailed that down, but lately my priorities have been way out of whack. And it hasn't been focused on the cross. It's been going different directions. I'm so busy. I don't even know which way is up or down. But you know today he's kind of calling you back to the I want to get my priorities straight. I want to just kind of dedicate my life back to Jesus. Yes, I want to get back on track with him. And he's speaking to you today. If that's you today, would you please just raise your hand high so I can see it and say, I want to pray with you. Thank you. Thank you. I see you. If that's you today, I want to give my life back to you. Father, I thank you for today. That we don't have to. We just have to listen. And then we just go and love people like you love people. We don't condemn the world. You came to save the world. So we as Christians, we just go and we love the world and we point people to you. Thank you that you love us today to call us out, challenge us, not because you want to punish us, no,